It pop up. All right. Good morning, everyone. Hello, bonjour, gue, atalahai, and welcome to our monthly Entrepreneur Coffee Break, our first of 2024. So happy New Year to everyone. I'm Carole Spicer of Spicer Facilitation. It is January 16th, 2024. Winter has decided to finally arrive on the island. So we've had, I'm kind of glad we're virtual today because traveling yesterday and they say tomorrow is going to be a bit messy traveling around as well. So happy that you're able to join me safely from wherever you are. Do you want to take a moment to acknowledge that the lands in Newfoundland and Labrador are on Indigenous territory? And I ask that you join me in acknowledging with respect the diverse cultures and traditions of all Indigenous people. I've shared this before. I was just in Nain last week, and when I was there last year, I had a bit of an epiphany in that I had an unconscious bias that I had all Indigenous people as one people, which is ridiculous because I wouldn't have all Asian people as one people. I wouldn't have all people of color as one people. We do actually have 5 different Indigenous populations in our own province. So we have Mi'kmaq, Beothuk, Innu, Inuit, and Southern Labrador Inuit. And so for me, working with the Indigenous communities, I think it's really important that I do take this time to acknowledge the lands we're in. We are stewards of the land, keepers of the land, and those that have come before us. So please join me in acknowledging that. So welcome to our coffee break. Today, I've decided to do a little bit of a different coffee break. Those that signed up would have seen, or on social media would have seen my messaging in that it seems like people have struggled a little bit recently. It seems like the world is very dark right now. So I decided I would sponsor this month's coffee break and give back to you, the community. And we're going to talk a little bit. It's not going to be quite a workshop per se, but I'm going to kind of take you through a bit of a presentation around grit and see if we can kind of get ourselves up and going this morning and carry us into the new year. But this is your community, however. So I want to welcome you all to our coffee break. For those that are new, because we've got a few folks that are new, and we're going to do introductions here in a moment for everyone. We started the pilot of a virtual coffee break. Believe it or not, we are entering into our 5th year. We started in January 2020. And we did a pilot for 3 months, which was January, February, March of 2020. And of course, we all know what happened in the world in March of 2020. And so we continued to meet virtually. And the community has embraced this. And as long as you folks are willing and interested and are getting some value in joining virtually, then I am more than willing to offer this opportunity. So that is really sort of the foundation of what this is about. This is your community. It's an opportunity for us to come together, to share ideas, both challenges and successes. I think sometimes we forget to celebrate each other's successes. But at the same time, if you're having a challenge, there may be another entrepreneur that is having the same challenge, or there may be one of our wonderful support folks that are online with us that may know a connection we can make, or someone that will be able to support us. So that's really what it's about as we come together. And I'm going to start with, I know there's a few folks that need to pop in and out. So I'm going to start with introductions, and I'm going to ask everyone to tell us a little bit about who you are. And those that have been with me for a while know that one of the quirky things I really like is to know where we're reaching. So if you could tell us where you're located as well, because that's always something I really enjoy. So I'm going to do reverse alphabetical because I tend to start at the top, which is always Andrew. So Andrew, you're going to be last because I'm going to start at the bottom this time. So it's going to be Terry Lynn first, and then Sharon, and then Samantha. So Terry Lynn, if you want to let folks know who you are.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Terry Lynn Robbins, and my husband and I are the owners of Robbins Family Farm here in Deer Lake, and we are a mixed commodity farm focusing primarily on agriculture awareness and educating our youth about where our food comes from, and also agritourism. And we're in Deer Lake. Oh, I already said that.
You did. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you. And I'll use Terry Lynn for just an example of one of the things that I've seen happen. Terry Lynn does a subscription program for agriculture, and I've seen her make a sale in chat. So it's one of the advantages of bringing people together that don't always get an opportunity to connect in person. So really, it is about promoting who you are and making those connections. So thank you, Terry Lynn, Sharon, and then Samantha.
Good morning from beautiful Pasadena. Looks cool out there this morning. Haven't been out yet, but there's a bit of blue skies, gorgeous. I love this time of year. I love all seasons. I own and operate Siva Meditation. It's a mindful meditation business. I trained with Deepak Chopra in California back in 2013 and 14, and I've been saving the world ever since. Started with me. Save myself.
Perfect.
So I love my little company. I love my little business, and I've found my own groove. I don't find I'm selling so much. I'm just offering it to people who are there and interested in learning more about well-being, mental health, taking charge of their own life. So thank you, Carole, for offering this networking.
Thank you. Sharon, I was going to send you something last night and I forgot to do it. My younger daughter sent me a message last night and said, "Don't say I told you so, but I've been listening to meditation before I go to sleep and I've been falling asleep quicker and faster." So
Love it.
anyway, it was really hard for me not to say I told you so, but
You can think it.
But I can think it. It was working. It was working. Samantha and then Mel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Samantha O'Brien. I'm with Atlantic Edge Credit Union. I'm the commercial services manager here. I'm based out of our Deer Lake branch, but we actually have 15 branches now, and I actually just had to look it up because we just went through amalgamation 16 days ago. So we have branches right from Port aux Basques right on up into Goose Bay, and now as far as Mount Pearl. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm here as any support that you guys may need for commercial lending.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you. Mel, are you there? I think Mel was having troubles with the microphone. If you're not able to open up the microphone, Mel, maybe just pop over in chat and say a welcome to us there. So I'm going to move on to Marie Renee, and then it's going to be Kelly.
Good morning, everybody. I'm currently in Corner Brook. It's very sunny here right now. So I work for Horizon TNL based in St. John's, but yeah, I'm working from Corner Brook on the West Coast with my colleague Andrew. So I work in more the business succession. So I do have two programs I'm taking care of. The first one's called a Solution Succession. It's a program for women that wants to purchase an existing business. And it goes along with a website that we just launched in September, which is called the SME Succession Hub, SME for small, medium enterprise. So it's a great website where people can list their business for sale for free. A potential buyer can be on there, and also a directory of experts in business transfers. And I'm a bit of a matchmaker for potential buyers in business. So just to make sure we keep all businesses in Newfoundland and Labrador. It's a brand new program that we just got, so I'm very excited about it.
Excellent. And Marie Renee has a directory, she mentioned, of experts. So if you feel, I'm thinking especially for some of the folks here that are in support, if you feel that you have a service or a skill that can assist someone who is either selling their business or looking to purchase a business, you can register. And they will do the wonderful translation into French because I am now listed on there to help as a coach. And Marie updated my profile, so I'm actually listed in the directory. It's easy. It's this little form that you fill out, and then she can use that as a reference, and people can find you on their system. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Marie for sure. Kelly, and then Edwina.
I'm Kelly Lannon, and I have my brand new business, Bees Knees Events and Marketing. First event is going to be happening in February, I believe. And I also work for a company called WRDC, which is Women in Resource Development. And because of that, I have to jump off in a few minutes. But I'm excited to be here, and I am here from Pasadena.
Excellent. Thank you. Edwina and then Daphne.
Good morning, everyone. I am tuning in from Portabass. Should I say windy Portabass? Might be more familiar to everyone. And it is windy here today, so be prepared. It's moving your way.
Yes.
I am the proud owner of Avail HR Services, Inc. I started my company. I'll have my 8th anniversary in June of this year.
Yay.
So I'm very excited about that. Yeah. And talk about grit. Yeah, it was a tough start. It was a tough start, but I'm proud to say that it's going quite well. I offer training solutions. It didn't start that way. I was offering everything, whatever I could do, you name it, I did it. And even when I couldn't do it, I said I would. I figured it out after. So right now I focus on training solutions, primarily leadership training. I'm a professional DIS trainer, and I do offer a number of HR workshops, like one-day workshops, as clients do call, or new businesses might call and feel that they need some HR training. So that's a little bit about me, and thanks, Carole. Love this forum. It's a great opportunity to do some networking, especially when you're in the corner of the island and you don't get a lot of opportunity to do a lot of networking.
That's right. I know. I'm really pleased you're able to join us. And I know this time was a bit tricky for you, so thanks for making it work. So we're going to go from one corner to the other end. We're going to go to Daphne next. So we've got Edwina down in Portabass and Daphne's out on the other end. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daphne Ziv. Yes, I'm in St. John's, Newfoundland, and we have a pretty sunny day today, cold but sunny, which is nice to have. I currently work with NLCU in the commercial division. I'm a commercial business advisor, so myself and Samantha are in the same kind of field, working with local businesses, supporting them with their lending needs, such as appointment of credit, loans for equipment, and commercial mortgages. We are very community-based and very involved with the community. I'm also, so anyone who is looking for lending or any support in your business, feel free to reach out. We'd love to support you. I'm also working with the Study and Stay NL program through MUN with the international students, and I'm looking for mentors. We are going to have a new program starting in February, where we would like to get as many mentors within our business all across the island to support our international students in the last year of studies. And we're going to be doing something new. We're looking for one-on-one, but also we're going to be looking at as a group and looking to facilitate having all the mentors perhaps in the room, get the students in there, get the connections. There's a lot of talents coming into the province that I'm sure many of us could avail of. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I always enjoy these sessions. Thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you, Daphne. I can speak to the Study and Stay. I've been a mentor for the last 3 years, I think. And I think I get more out of it than they do. But it's a really wonderful experience. And I remember my first mentee was from Azerbaijan in Corner Brook in a pandemic. So this poor young man goes from this city of millions and millions and millions of people to being isolated in a house in Corner Brook. So I think most of our first probably half dozen sessions that we chatted was really about his mental health. It really wasn't anything about career. It was just having a friendly face for him and, someone that he could talk to and share about some of his challenges. So really, really rewarding program if you think about it. And it's not a huge commitment. It's maybe once a month, twice a month. It's really up to you and your mentees. So consider it. It's a really good program. Thanks, Daphne, for bringing that up.
And if I add just quickly, can you still hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Marie-Renée, je parle français aussi, fait que il faut qu'on connecte. I need to connect with you as well, but perhaps go on the list. I'm a member of the association as well. I've worked with you before, so would love to help if I can, and practice my French. Ça fait longtemps que je peux parler français.
I'm the same. I met Marie at
And
an
this-
evening that Andrew asked me to join that I thought was an entrepreneur event. And it turned out it was a Francophone community event. And so I had to draw on my French from grade 8 through 12. And Marie and I met that evening, and they were all very kind to me and said I did a really good job. So
They're the best.
Carmelita, you're up next, and then Carla.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Carmelita Morgan, Karma Yoga with Carmelita Morgan, and I live in Deer Lake and operate my business from there. So I teach weekly classes at the Isle of View studio here in Deer Lake. It's a beautiful spot, and I'm blessed to have it. And then also 2 other places in Deer Lake as well. Weekly classes in Pasadena as well, at Pasadena Place, and also in Reedville. Along with that, I do one-off. So if someone asks me to come and do a day-long session with them or just a couple hour sessions, I do a lot of that as well. Love what I do. I know the benefit of it. I see it in myself, and I also see it in the people who come to classes. So I feel blessed, really, and grateful that I started this 14 years ago.
Wow, awesome. I'm a student of Carmelita's, and she's lovely and gentle and kind, and yoga is very forgiving. So I quite enjoy the classes. Thank you. Carla is next, and then I'm not sure Capuchin, if I'm saying that correctly. That's my try. Carla, you're up next.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Apologies earlier there, I couldn't get my speakers or my earphones to work there, so I had no idea what you were saying. Apologies. Happy to be here. Carla May. I am a business growth advisor with NLO, Newfoundland and Labrador Organization of Women Entrepreneurs. And unfortunately, I have to take off in a little bit for a dental appointment, but happy to be here while I can. Thanks, Carole.
Excellent. Thank you. On that note, as folks may have to pop off, if you're interested, you can certainly put your contact information in chat before you leave, so that people can grab that if they want to make a connection to you. Not obligated to do, but if you wish to, you're certainly welcome to do that. Capucine, I'm not really sure how to say that. If you are there.
Hello.
If you are there.
Do you hear me?
Oui. Oui.
Yeah. Okay. I'm French. Now I live in France, and so I'm happy to be here. I am looking for a job in a daycare or in tourism in all Canada. So, and normally I will go to Canada, perhaps in Quebec, in 2 or 3 weeks. So perhaps I could meet you in person. Yeah.
Okay.
So
excellent.
thank you for having me.
Okay, excellent.
Come to St. John's and visit
us.
us.
Come to St. John's and visit us.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, hopefully.
And
how do you say your name?
Capucine. It's a flower.
Okay. Capucina.
It's nasturtium in English.
Okay.
Capucine.
Excellent. Well, bienvenue. Welcome.
Thank you.
BJ, where are you joining us from today?
Everybody, hello.
Hello.
I'm usually in Chili's West in the Trinity Bike in Trinity Bay. Today I am in Toronto for my son. I will be back in a week. So there you go. I'm the owner and operator of. I'm getting an echo back. Is everybody else are saying to me?
It's a little choppy. I'm not getting an echo, but it's a little choppy.
Okay. And I will close my ears so I don't hear myself a half a second later. I'm the owner and operator of Inland Wood Turning. I work with only native Newfoundland trees. I turn them into objects, usually bowls, platters, and other things that are beautiful, functional, tactilely seductive, and because, as it happens, they're born in the forest, most of them have a level of translucency. And so kids call me the lady that makes the bowls that glow. I have been doing that for 4 or 5 years, and now I'm reassessing my markets and things like that. I'm particularly attracted to today's discussion about grit because my observation is grit has a whole lot to do with whether things succeed or fail.
Okay,
Don't
excellent.
just
Welcome.
keep giving up. So, looking forward to the conversation.
Excellent. Thank you, BJ. Welcome. So I know it was a little bit choppy, but BJ is a wood turning expert. She makes beautiful hand artwork and out of wood. She's based in Champneys West in Trinity. She's also has a studio in Toronto, and that's where she's joining us from today. So for those that the sound was a bit choppy.
And in full disclosure, I'm one of the members of the board this year in Lowe's. So always, if you have ever thought, God, I knew somebody who I could talk to about something about that, yeah, one of the people you can do that now.
Yes,
so I'll put
absolutely.
Nation chat. There you go.
Excellent. So as mentioned, BJ is on the board of Enlow if you're looking for some support.
Yeah.
All right. Finalement, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Hibbets. I think I know a lot of you, but there are some new faces. I work with Horizon TNL as well. So I'm based on the West Coast. My office is in Mainland on the Port-au-Port Peninsula, and not to be confused with Mainland Canada. There's actually a community called Mainland on the Port-au-Port Peninsula. Or La Grande here in French. But I'm actually in Stephenville today, working from home. And yeah, so my role is I'm an economic development officer for the West Coast. So I sometimes go to Corner Brook or Port aux Basques or wherever needed. So I'm all over the place. So yeah, if there's anything I can do to help any business owners out there, you know, as long as French kind of comes into the equation in some way, shape, or form, you know, if you're an Anglophone business owner, but you're looking to hire maybe a bilingual candidate, we can help you out. If you're looking at maybe if you're a tourism operator and you're trying to, you know, maybe translate a little bit of promotional material, feel free to hit us up. And if there's anything, even if you're in doubt, just reach out to me, because if I can't help you, I will direct you to someone who can. So feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Excellent. Andrew's part of the, whoops, I'm getting an echo there. Andrew's part of the long range group as well, business group, and they do a lot of activities down in the Southwest Coast area. So he is very well connected. Thank you, Andrew. Mel, I see that you're in twice. So I'm not sure if you got a microphone working now.
I think that's my otter. It's taken notes for me.
Okay, yep, you're there now.
Okay. My name is Mel, and I live in the middle of Terra Nova National Park. I own 2 businesses here. One is called the Shed Powerhouse, which is a hybrid entertainment company. And I own Keto Noofs, which is a healthy food manufacturing company, looking also into getting co-packing. And we produce food that's used as medicine.
Excellent. Thank you. So glad you could join.
Thank you.
Right. So I think that's everyone looking down through the list. So thank you everyone for that opportunity to connect, because especially for those that need to drop off, at least now you have a sense of who's here. So about the coffee break, for those that are joining for the first time or haven't been around for a while, normally we bring in a guest speaker, we talk about a particular topic, and then we do sort of the networking at the end. So this time I flipped it at the beginning because I know there's a few folks that need to leave. And today I decided that I'm technically your guest speaker, I guess. And we're going to have a conversation about grit. So Daphne referenced the Study and Stay NL program, and this is a presentation that I've done with the international students in their last year. They offer Hillary and Linda, who are normally who often join these calls. They offer an entrepreneur cafe for them as well. And there's two topics that I go in and talk to the students about, and one of them is grit. And so I've taken that presentation, and I thought I would just have a chit chat with you folks here today. Because as I mentioned, I think, people are struggling a little bit, and talking to Edwina said, yes, as a business owner heading into, year after year and pivoting and changing, grit comes into play as well. So first off, I just ask you, how do you define grit? What do you think grit is all about? And you can either open up your mic or type in chat, whatever is easiest for you. If you're going to open your mic, maybe raise your hand just so we don't have people talking over each other. When you think of grit, how would you define grit?
When I think of grit,
Carole?
Yeah.
When I started the meeting this morning, I opened up my day timer, and the little quote that was there, I put in the chat. So grit, breathe, it just speaks to me. Be brave, take chances, and make it happen. So you got to keep being brave and keep taking chances, and it keeps happening. But once one of those components are out, and then that gives you that determination and hopefully success on the other end, whatever you determine success to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Thank you, Sharon.
To me, when I think of grit, I think of almost gripping, like holding on, and perhaps to do with. And I Googled as well to see what grit, but in psychology, it says grit is a positive, non-conjugative trait based on a person's perseverance of effort combined with their passion for a particular long-term goal or end state. I think when I think of myself, I've always had grit from a very young age. I've always set goals, and I think what kept me motivated is that perseverance and that always hanging on. So to me, that's a great subject to talk to international students or young individuals or anyone. But I'm thinking it really it's a good trait to have the perseverance, to have and support definitely helps with all that. But to have a goal, to have something to focus on, and to get there with grit.
It's interesting when you say hanging on, and in the picture, of course, I've got the mountain climber, hanging on. And I think of the comment you made earlier, Edwina. Sometimes we're hanging on by just the tips of our fingers, aren't we? Right? We're just literally hanging on to what it is we're trying to do. Couple comments there in chat as well. Giving it your all to make your visions happen, which is a little bit of what Daphne was talking about as well, right? Having those goals and sticking with it and going to it. Absolutely. All right. You guys are already ahead of the game. Awesome. So looking at research and as I put this together, there's 5 characteristics of grit kind of keep coming, and each of you have touched on them a little bit. Courage, conscientiousness, endurance, resilience, and excellence. And so let's take a look at each of those. So the first thing is courage, and it's sometimes just taking that chance, as Sharon talked about, is just having that gut to do it. Here's me having the courage to walk across this suspension bridge. This was over in New Brunswick. So I thought this kind of demonstrated. Sometimes the courage is that physical courage just to walk across that bridge. Sometimes it's taking the chance to start a business. It's taking that chance to pivot. It can be all kinds of different things, but it's having that courage to do so. The piece that jumped at me in this particular definition as well was the fact that failures teach us something, right? And so it's learning from that, and it's not necessarily getting completely beaten down about it. It's about having that perseverance, and Mel talked about perseverance, and Daphne talked about perseverance as well. So we need to have that courage. And I know I shared this in a meeting I was with Carole yesterday. That I think I shared it with Carole, or it was somebody. No, it was somebody else. I think might have been that a manager that I had before put in her training sessions. Always had a slide that said, Children learned pretty quickly that if you stand still in a video game, you're dead. And the idea was that sometimes standing still is the right answer, but often if you stand still too long, it may not get you to where you need to be, right? And she would put it in her leadership training all the time. So sometimes it's that courage to take that step. And sometimes that courage is also to take a step backwards. It's not always forward. Sometimes we need to pause, we need to take a step back, we need to go sideways, we need to go diagonal. But it is taking that step, right? And having the courage to try. Conscientiousness, I think this one is an interesting trait around being an entrepreneur, and I think in any of us, it comes to our values. When I was starting my business, probably about a year in, it was suggested to me by one of our mentors here, ask your clients what they value about you, so that you're trying to sell yourself, but ask your clients to reflect back to you. What do they see? What do you, see as a value that you offer? And conscientiousness was one of the ones that came back. It was the fact that it was people saying to me, I can depend on you. I know that you're going to do a job. I know you're going to do a job well. And it was a really validating message because it wasn't something that I would necessarily go out and say, hey, I'm very conscientious. Yet it was my clients reflecting back to me that, we can depend on you and we know that you're going to do a good job. So conscientiousness is part of, sticking to it and making sure you're doing that. Thank you, Andrew, for reaching out to Capucine. Endurance. So this is, Andrew, you'd recognize where this stairway is, I would imagine, in the picture. So I have a couple of years ago, I fell twice within 2 months. I fell down a half flight of stairs and I fell down on some ice. And so I was getting physio. And I, over the years, have trained myself to walk downstairs sideways because I've been compensating for the injury. And my physiotherapist said, you need to walk straight. You need to walk upstairs straight. You need to walk downstairs straight because you've changed your muscles. And so my shins really are painful when I walk down or upstairs, when I go them straight on, which is what, 99% of the population does. But me, I walk downstairs sideways. When I got to this stairway on this trail, and this trail, for those that don't know, is the Gravels Trail out on the Port Peninsula. I intentionally walked up and down these stairs perfectly straight. And I was so proud of myself when I got to the top. It was slow. Thankfully, there was nobody else on the trail behind me. But it was having that endurance and committing to, I'm going to get up these stairs properly. But that's what it's about, is making sure that you're committed to what you are trying to do, right? When you set those goals, and it may not be fast and it may not be pretty, but you're committed and you've got the endurance to try and get through it, right? So it's this picture for me emphasizes that in my journey. And then there's resilience. So again, for those that may not recognize where this is the Labyrinth in Bowring Park in St. John's. I know that Sharon and Carmen and I have walked this labyrinth together. It is being able to get up after you've been knocked down. It's being, and I think of Edwina, if Edwina has been through a horrendous event in her life and in her community. She was in Port Basque and they took the brunt of Hurricane Fiona. So the resilience of her community and her and others, and I know Edwina shared with some of us in the past, the struggles that community has faced. But it's a resilient community. And I know that through coming together, they're all rising up and helping one another. And so it's knowing that something may come along and you're going to handle it and you're okay to handle it. And having that resilience to get through it. And then the last characteristic is excellence. And this is one that's tough for me in that I like everything to be perfect. I blame it on my horoscope sign. I'm a Virgo, and we're perfectionists as Virgos. My daddy calls me perfect. My husband and my mother will tell you I'm not. I'm daddy's little girl. But excellence is not perfection. And so when you separate that and realize that it is, thanks, Kelly, it's about doing your best. It's not always about being perfect. And I think if people know that you are genuinely, doing your absolute best, then it's okay. And it's funny because I do that with my kids. Thanks, Carla. I do that with my children. It's, did you do your best? Then we don't need the 100% on the test, as long as you did your best. And yet, in my own, reflections, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. And so, excellence is not perfection. It's giving it your all and that sort of thing. So I'm going to leave it there for just a moment. Those are the kind of the characteristics of grit. Questions, comments, anything anyone would like to add to that or share about that?
I would like to say something, if I may.
Yes, Daphne, go ahead.
I think where everything that you went through, I think we all go through at one part of our life, or one chapter of our life. And as we go through these challenges, and I'm really happy to see that you share that with the international students, because thinking of them, I was an international student myself back a long time ago. You go through a lot of challenges outside the normal challenges that many of us go, and having these understanding that when you go through some of these challenges, if you have grit, and if you apply, you do your best, and if you apply yourself and set goals, you will get there. And it's worth the struggle, and it's nice to I think what's the word I'm looking for? Skip my mind, but it's nice to have that kind of a conversation with young individuals, or anybody that really is going through some challenges in their lives, to know that this too shall pass, and just hang on, and you will get to the other side. So it's thank you for sharing. That's really excellent, I guess, excellent way of looking at things, and while you're going through some tough times.
Excellent, thank you. And that's kind of what prompted me a little bit about doing this time. And I've had several conversations with different people. There's been an incredible amount of loss recently, at least in our community. There's so much turmoil in the world. Things feel heavy right now. And I know on a volunteer committee that we had a meeting, I'm chairperson of, we had a meeting Sunday evening. Every single member of my board has been dealing with something very stressful and dramatic since November. Illness, loss, challenge, every single one of us on the board. And that's 9 people, 9 random people coming together. And every single person on that committee has had something in the last couple months. So, it's about being kind. It's about understanding that everyone is going through something. And if we can figure out our own coping skills, and then hopefully share with some others that they can get there. So thank you, Daphne, for that. Any other comments or anything anybody would like to share?
I would, Carole.
Thank you, Carole.
I'd just like to say that groups that you're involved in, this, for example, is so helpful. It's so important to keep support around you, and also groups of friends. We need that support to help us when we're struggling, when we're going through hard times. We've lost a lot of people in our community as well over the last little, and there's been a lot of sickness and just events happening. But I always like to have that group support, and I'm a member of several personal groups of friends, which I find so comforting and so good at the bad times, and also the good times. You want those people to celebrate with you when things are going good. And groups such as this for the business part of it as well. We need that support. We all do. And it's just nice to be able to share with everyone and to hear what they are going through too. So thanks for this, Carole. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think when it comes to grit for us as entrepreneurs, our family doesn't always understand that sometimes, or our friends may not understand. They support us, they maybe buy our services, or they promote our services or our products. They may not know that gut fear of where's the next contract coming from, where's the next payment coming in, what's the next big thing, hey, nobody's on my social media right now, what's going on, so I agree with you, Carm. I think sometimes just connecting with other entrepreneurs that have walked those paths, and folks like Andrew and Marie and Carla that are those cheerleaders for us, that can make those connections and support us and keep us going. So thank you for that, Carm.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else have anything to add?
Hi there.
Hi, BJ.
Hi there. The whole thing about it to me always feels up in the success is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration.
Mm-hmm.
The inspiration is all it. So.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears go into making a business.
And keep it going.
And keep it going, yeah. And I mean, when we look at as an entrepreneur community, when we look at the last, I'm going to say the last 4 years, the entire world has shifted. A lot of us have pivoted. Mel, you've got 2 businesses on the go that are very, different industries, very different, aspects of who you're touching. Juggling all of that, it does take a lot to kind of get through it. And I know several of the folks here on our community tend to be solopreneurs. So, we're working in isolation. So sometimes it's just having that opportunity to connect with other individuals. I often say sometimes it's great to be a solopreneur because I don't have to go through 7 layers of approvals for things like I did when I worked in government. However, that sometimes you're isolated, you're in your own head, and you're like, I just need to bounce some ideas off somebody because I just don't know if I'm going down the right road or if I'm thinking correctly. And so, having those communities, as Carm said, those people that, you could trust and reach out to and bounce ideas off of sometimes is great. And I think that all ties into, sticking with it and having folks help you out. Awesome. Edwina.
Yeah, and on that note, I just, because I, if you notice, I jumped out of my chair there. I thought I would, because I have to leave soon, and I just want to share something with the group. And because Carole, you're one person, as you just ending off what you said there about being able to reach out and being a solopreneur and having someone to talk to. And I know, like for yourself and Carla May, too, in particular, these are both of you I've reached out to and said, look, I feel all alone out here. How do you do this? Or, because to me, I'm living in Portabash in the big city. We go to Corner Brook for everything, like, Walmart withdrawals and whatever. So, it can be very lonely and it can be very tough. And when you have a passion, and that you can help people and you're all alone out here, how do you reach out? How do you do this? And it's not easy being a business owner. It's not easy being a solopreneur and a woman on that. But before I go, I actually jumped out of my chair and I said, I'm going to share a paragraph out of a poem that my mother gave to me, and it's called To My Daughter. And this has carried me through quite a bit when we have those tough times. And it's actually 3 paragraphs long, but I'm just going to read the first paragraph to you and leave that with you because that has helped me so many times when I experience grit. And I think about my mother who has passed now, but I think about these words and what she keeps saying to me. And that has helped me. So if you could give me a couple of minutes here, Carole, I just want to read this to you. It's called To My Daughter. Just the first paragraph I'll read to you. In this world, there's so much laughter, disappointments too, and tears. Many smiles and many heartaches as we journey through the years. Life is mainly what you make it, dear. Quite a lot depends on you. There are many broken hearts, dear, but there's a lot of gladness too. So that alone, that one sentence, quite a lot depends on you, has been, to me, it was very inspirational because it's all about you, who you are, and finding yourself to make sure that you dig into that strength in your inner self to keep that going, to keep that passion alive and to do what you need to do. So yeah, life is full of ups and downs. And I see BJ there nodding because BJ and I are also into another group that we share some things. But I just thought I'd grab that before I close today and share that first paragraph that my mom gave to me. And hopefully there'll be something there that might ring out with each of you when you are experiencing grit. Because, you know, personally, professionally, on a volunteer basis, I've experienced a lot of grit. One that we're all familiar with is Fiona. And it's still not over. It's still very much, Fiona is still very much alive in this community and very difficult. So a lot of ups and downs, but a lot of good times, a lot of laughter. It's just finding that inner strength and realizing that it's there and you can just take it and grab onto that whenever you experience grit. So I just want to share that with you.
That was beautiful, Edwina. Thank you so much. You're getting lots of comments in chat as well. Are you able to pop in chat the author of that, or where we could find it? Because
there is no author there. It's just a poem that my mom gave me. It's 3 paragraphs. There's no author. I don't know where she found it. I don't know where it came from. And she just put it on a plaque and sent it to me. Sent it to me. She gave it to me at some point, I don't know, during my childhood. And it's been on my wall and I use it quite often as a reminder. Yeah.
That's beautiful. The other piece that jumped at me of what the paragraph you said was the last line, that there's also positive too. You know, that as we're in, because when we're in those deep times, sometimes we just think, we're not getting out of this. Am I really getting out of this? And it, you know, the fact that there is hope, you know, and I remember I went through some stuff personally. I was seeing a therapist and he, you know, I said, I don't know if I have any hope left. He said, you have faith, don't you? And I said, well, I have faith. Yes, I have faith. You know, I don't, my faith is my own, you know, thing that I manage. And he said, well, if you got faith, you got hope. And it was, you know, it was like, okay, so I'm here bawling in your office. Yes. But you know what? There is going to be a good time, and there is a good time, you know? So that line in that first paragraph as well really jumped at me, Edwina, personally.
Good. I can put it in, type it in very quickly, that first paragraph. You know, there's more to it, but I think the first paragraph, somebody would like for me to type it in. I can certainly do that before I go.
If you have the time, that'd be awesome.
Yep,
thank you.
Sure, I'll do that right now.
Because I think it's really resonating with people here this morning.
Awesome.
I have a stepdaughter in Toronto who's going to be 20 this month, is going through a little bit of a difficult time. And I'm trying to help her as much as I can and talk to her regularly. And I think something like that, I'd love to put on a plaque. And she's coming to visit me next month. So I've finally convinced her to come and she'll spend a week with me. So I want to take her around, kind of give her a little bit of hope. That's what I'm looking for, to give her hope. She has some health issues, other issues, and she's only 20 and she's a beautiful, beautiful young lady. It's just that she seems to be alone in the world. I'm there for her, but I'd like to help her with that. For sure.
Awesome. If I could interrupt again, sorry. What I'll do, I think the easiest way to do this, and I didn't read the other 2 paragraphs because I grew up in a very religious background, so it refers to God, and I know we all have our own perceptions of God. So sometimes you don't know if you should read it or not. But I tell you what I'll do. I will copy it, Carole. I'll send it to you, and then you can send it out when you send out your follow-up. I can put it in that. And then you could use it whatever way. And hopefully, if that first paragraph would somehow resonate with some of you, it certainly has with me. It certainly has helped me. So if I can feel that it'll at least help one of you or give you a little reminder or even pass on some information there, Daphne, by all means, I'll photocopy it and send it. That's probably the easiest way. Okay.
Yeah, or send a photo, take a picture of it and send it to me, whatever works.
Alrighty. Okay, will do.
Excellent. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day. So this is a definition of grit, just to kind of summarize some of those characteristics. I'm going to give you a moment to read it yourself. If someone can't see it, then I'll read it out. But if everyone's able to see, it starts with, grit is not something that we are just born with. So I'll give you all a moment to read that. And if there's anything that kind of jumps out at you and you want to share, let me know. But I thought it was a nice way to kind of summarize the characteristics and how it comes together. For me, it's the last line in here. Like everyone, life has been a challenge and I've had different things happen. My business, I took a risk. I was faced with circumstances that had me at a crossroads and I didn't know where I was going to go next. And I took a risk. And I think it is because I have the confidence that I'll survive whatever. Having gone through different things, and I don't wish hardship on people. However, as I said earlier, you knock on any door, I think all of us are going through something. And the fact that every single time, we get knocked back, we get up when we go again, that is grit. And because of that, I know I can take some risks because I will always, I'll survive it. Whatever happens, I have that faith and confidence that I'm going to get through it. So it does, am I a risk taker? I guess to some degree I probably am. You can say my husband and I, we left Ontario and moved to Newfoundland, Labrador without jobs, either one of us. So I guess that does say I'm a risk taker. We, just had the confidence that we'd land on our feet somehow, and we did. So, so I like this definition. I like this quote that I found about it. Like most leadership things, we're not, we don't always have it inherently in us. These are things that we can develop, we can work on, we can nurture, and we can grow as individuals. So that's my messaging for you folks today. I hope it's something that resonated. I know there's a few folks that have shared with me personally. I kind of need to hear a good message this morning, so hopefully that helped. And I know for me, as I say, the things sometimes seem a little dark. I know in my own family, we've gone through some challenges in the last couple months, and we seem to have turned a corner with what's going on. So we're really happy about that. And like everything, we know we're going to keep on going. So I'm going to turn it back to you folks as a community. If there's anything that's going on, we've done our introductions and all of you did a great job. However, if there's something else you'd like us to know about, do you have an event coming up? Do you have any particular information you want to share? Feel free to put it in chat. Feel free to share here now. I do know that Navigate Small Business is having a in-person networking on Friday in Corner Brook for those that are on the West Coast. And there's a couple other workshops that Navigate Small Business is running right now. So if you want to take a look at that, I think Enlo, Carla had to pop off, but Enlo is bringing in partnership with Navigate. Jill Whalen from St. John's is coming out and doing some workshops. Andrew, I'm not sure if you've got any events or anything going down your neck of the woods.
I have a lot of things coming up, but they're not quite refined enough to announce yet, but keep an eye out.
Okay. Yeah.
Stay
tuned. It's Long Range Business, right? Is the Facebook page?
Yes. Yes. Long Range Small Business Committee. So the Long Range Small Business Committee has a Facebook page. I believe we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day thing again, which was something really small. And I think going back to what we were talking about, with regards to grit and that kind of thing. So during Christmas time, we did a 12 days of Christmas shopping campaign. And it's something that we've been doing annually the last few years. So basically it was really simple. It wasn't simple so much for the volunteer, but we had over 150 businesses participate. So basically we drove around and delivered a box to each business and ballots. So anybody that came in and made a purchase, they could fill out the ballot and put it in and had a chance at winning either a $500 gift card or a $250 gift card. And it was of no cost to the business owner because it was sponsored by the town of Stephenville. And it was something so small, but a lot of the business owners told me that they found it so exciting, and it was just something kind of, to brighten up which has otherwise kind of been dark times, you know, and that sounds kind of funny because it's something so small, but it was just a little extra thing to be, you know, a distraction and kind of, you know, the thing is that if the winning ballot was pulled and so on it would say what store the ballot was entered. So it was like the store one as well, because that person that won had to spend it at that store. So it was a win-win for everybody involved. So yeah, I thought it was nice. Anyway, I got a lot of great feedback, or we got a lot of great feedback from businesses and just from people in the community and that kind of thing. So soon we'll be doing our Valentine's Day thing, which is it's really simple, but last year it went over really well. Basically, people could fill out a Google form and kind of write a Valentine to their favorite business owner or business, I should say, owner or business. And we would do up a nice little Valentine's Day card and post it virtually and that kind of thing. And yeah.
It was cool. I remember that last year, and just to see all this love like in your feed, you know, like
yeah,
we see so much dark stuff, and this was just pure love to the community. It was wonderful.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming up soon. Yeah, there will be some other things, but hopefully next coffee break I'll be able to announce more. So
okay, awesome.
I'll keep you all posted.
Thanks. Sharon, your hand's been up, your arm's tired. You want to talk about the event you just posted in chat?
Can you hear me? I'm trying to lower my hand. There you go. I was going to put the flyer there, but I couldn't attach the flyer. I've got an event coming up this Sunday at Cafe 59. Meditation, mocha, and we've got music added. Myself and Laura Lee Pike have offered the session. I think we did it in November, had a break in December, but putting it together again for this Sunday, and there's still space available. So the registration is $35. It includes an introduction to meditation with a guided meditation by me for anybody who's wondering how meditation can help your life or affect your mental health and wellness. You get that introduction, then it includes your coffee or tea and a treat. And then Lovely Bones will be performing. So it's a nice little afternoon. If anybody's interested in more information, or please share it, because there is seats available. It's a small, intimate gathering, but there are still spots available. Thanks, Carol.
Excellent. Thank you. Carmelita, I know your Deer Lake classes are full, but there are classes in Pasadena people can register for, are there not?
Yeah, I have 2 classes in Pasadena. One is for the Humber Valley seniors. And then right after that, and that's on Thursday, I have a class myself, a gentle yoga class that starts at 12:30, and that's open to everyone.
Okay, excellent. Terry Lynn? I think I saw your hand fly up. I wasn't sure if you have something to share. Okay. You go take care of your goats. If you want to smile today, go to Robin's Family Farm page on Facebook. Terry Lynn this morning posted a video of her goats escaping. It is absolutely hilarious and just will make you smile because they're just disappearing. And the thing that really struck me the most, and I shared this with her earlier, there's a cat that walks by them like, you know what cats are like, standoffish, like whatever. The cat just walking by through all the chaos of the goats is absolutely hilarious. So it'll make you smile. Robin's Family Farm Facebook page, she's got a video on there. All right, well, folks, I think I'm going to give you back some of your day. If there's nothing else that anyone has to share, thank you for joining us this morning. I wish you all the best for the balance of the month, for the balance of the year. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, follow Long Range Business, follow Navigate Small Business, follow Enlo, follow Horizon, all of these support agencies. put on fantastic events to help us as entrepreneurs. Feel free to reach out to each other and support each other. I think Carm really summed it up nicely earlier to say that we need those support circles. What I love about this community that we have is we don't see ourselves as competitors. We see ourselves as supporting one another to create a vibrant community and a vibrant province. And that to me is so important, that we have those supports. There was a very interesting article last evening on seniors and loneliness on the CBC News last evening. It was heartbreaking, to hear seniors talk about living alone and how isolated and how loneliness can impact them. So as that solopreneur, those days that you're kind of sitting there in front of your computer or doing your work and you're feeling lonely, reach out. Make sure you reach out to someone else and just have a chat. Virtual coffee, physical, if you're close enough, get together, grab coffee. It means a lot. I know it means a lot to me when people make the time to join me. And so I encourage everyone else to do it. I think that's part of how we build out those characteristics, the resilience and the courage and conscientiousness and everything else that we need. So thank you everyone for joining. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. And stay safe tomorrow when the weather starts to move across the province. Edwina says the wind's down in her corner. It's coming. It's going to hit you, Andrew, first, and then it's going to come across and end up with Daphne at the end. So, but stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.